Hey everybody, so it's the Modern Native, Mrs. Native, and it's a winter camping day because we got a storm coming in. Feel nice? Speaking of, we got to get wood because this literally came out of nowhere. It's so soft, it was just building up on the outside of the tent before we were like, wait. She touched the side of it and it all just down the tent, and she was like, oh, that happened. But yeah, this is like right next to camp and I didn't even notice it. Been too busy. First time I've been able to walk around this part. I actually walked right past it and went up the hill.
I saw it yesterday. But I'll get more.
Freaking psycho.
Here, I got these. When you do wood.
Gonna get ya. You dancing with mom? Parkour. Chew on your toe. All right, creature. These are my boys. But I had a quick little winter survival tip for you. So normally we pick a nice sturdy log to be able to bang sticks against, bang logs against, lay them up there and stomp on them stuff to break apart firewood. Now, we just got all of our firewood in that we're probably going to need for the night, but I'm thinking ahead and I'm going around and picking up the sticks and logs and stuff on the ground that I want to be able to have later for firewood, even though it's snowing. So if I put it across here and stretch them across, it'll keep them up out of the ground. The snow won't build up on them as much, and I can just come out here and kind of give it a kick, and it'll loosen up, so I'll have dry wood to be able to fuck with. So that's a quick little winter survival tip for you when you're out here enjoying your adventures and not letting the snow stop you. Alrighty, everybody. Tip number 2. When you're out here and you're in your, adventures, and even in the rain, even in the winter, try to find a birch tree if you need to start a fire. But I'm going to have a little moment of caution here because people always overuse this and overdo it. Because if you take this and pull it, it'll just keep going all the way around. And when it comes off, it leaves the raw bark underneath. And if you're on state land, technically that's defacing a tree. So you want to take only the dead curled bark and only the very outside piece, because something about birch trees most people don't know is they produce oxygen during the winter, and they're one of the few trees that do it through the bark. They continue to grow and produce oxygen all winter, so it's a resource all year. And if you strip off that bark, it reduces its ability and can kill it. So always be very careful when you come up. Pull just a little bit.
I'm going to take the rest so it's not going to be completely awful.
No, that's fine. Very minimal piece. Would have been brushed off by something just walking by it. And that bark will now grow and produce more oxygen. And you're not harming the tree. And that is more than plenty to be able to break down and start a fire. So, Mrs. Native learned a lesson that frozen cheeks are cold. So we were going to start bringing in the toilet seat so it can stay warm next to the wood stuff. And we have a nice big pile of wood so we can stay warm tonight. Always make sure to check your sides of your tent while the snow is building, so you can kick it away and get some of it off, and it takes the pressure off the side of your tent so it doesn't collapse. And also remember to collect it so you can actually melt it. It works. Snow dogs. Alrighty, everybody. So it's time for a friction fire, technically. It's Ferro Rod. But I wanted to do a manual fire start for you guys to get into the friction fires and show you guys a couple of tricks And to remind you, I do have fire starter kits available. Check the description for more information. Alright, so when you're doing this, you want to make sure you get a good pile of Ferro dust. So you scrape it very slowly and carefully, so that way you can get the filings in a nice little pile. Having smaller pieces of birch bark and doing this on a flammable tinder is your best bet. And my technique for doing it is pulling the ferro rod back and holding the scraper there, so you're not trying to accidentally slam into it. So you hold this hand steady, pull up with the ferro rod.
Ooh.
This bark is dry as shit. You don't want to let it.
Seems to be lighting everything else.
Alright. Fucker. Yeah. So it's been a while since I used Ferro Rod regularly, and this one's been kind of rusted, or, well, corroded. It's not really rusted. It's got all the green crap all over it. It was wet and sitting in a bag for a while. But it's my my big guy. I like it. It's got the big ass scraper on it. So, but sometimes there's a struggle. You just got to figure it out. I didn't have a big enough tinder pile. I try not to use too much, but I just kind of lost patience and was like, whatever, here. And threw that big old pile on there and did that quick scrape just because I was just tired of it. But still fire start, and it still worked. Whatever. So I guess one of my other tips is going to be having extra wood and extra fire starting material is better than not having enough. It's obvious, but it's better said than left unsaid because it puts that thought in your mind. Because having your warmth source is the most important thing. Alright, everybody. Make sure you stay warm out there. You get out there, be a native, and go
Go
beast.